Last few days, I have been having this weird feeling like something big is about to happen, right? Like this weird feeling of impending doom. I have been having this crazy feeling like in my belly. I don't know what it is, okay? To be brutally honest, I feel like something is already happening. And here's why. For the last few days, there have been crazy reports of dense, thick fog in many states all over America, in addition to the UK. Now, this is not your regular fog, because a lot of people have been reporting that they have been seeing some weird type of mist coming out of the sky with this fog, okay? In addition to that, there have been 4 plane crashes, y'all, within the last 5 days, okay? 3 of those plane crashes occurred within the last 24 hours. You had one on Christmas Day in Kazakhstan, and then within the last 24 hours, you had one in South Korea, Nova Scotia, as well as Norway. In addition to that, y'all, so many people have been reporting this weird sickness, whereas though they're having muscle soreness, sore throat, body aches, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, the whole 9. And they said that this sickness had just been coming out of nowhere. I don't know about you, but I feel like something big is happening or about to happen, and these people just are not telling us.
More and more people are actually noticing that they are getting sick, or they're feeling cramps and muscle aches from this fog. This next video comes from Mate Us J Marina 44, who's going to go more in depth about what's been happening to people experiencing the fog.
Anyone else noticed since this fog arrived on Christmas Day, you got a sore throat, you started to feel lethargic, you lost your appetite, you felt fluey, you couldn't do anything, didn't have any energy, sweat, couldn't sleep. There's nothing natural about it for me, people. They're doing this on purpose. Whatever's in that fog is making us sick. And I know it's hard for people to get their heads around that they'd actually do it to us, but again, go and research the Georgia Guidestones. Go and research what they want for humanity. Keep us in balance with nature at 500 million. So they've got a big task on their hands if they want this done by 2030, so think about it. Changes in the weather.
Has anybody else noticed it's been foggy for days now, and the internet never fails to let me know what's happening? The first thing I saw said this is all down to geoengineering. What's that? I have no idea. Another thing I saw said it's down to chemtrails. If you don't know what chemtrails are, if you look at an airplane flying over and you see like water vapour coming out the back, a lot of people believe that's something dodgy by the government. Hey! Now, another theory that is quite interesting is the government doesn't want you to see what's in the sky. Now, I'm not too sure what that means, but one thing the fog did stop me seeing was the horse racing was on ITV. Couldn't even see the horses running. Weird. And then another theory, which is the obvious one, UFOs causing all this fog. And there are some people saying it could just be fog. A lot of different opinions. What do you think's causing all this fog?
So I have seen no videos on this, so I'm just gonna talk about it. The fog. That's right, people. This weird fog shit that has been around for days and is supposedly making people sick. Well, I feel like shit. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what it's looked like in Ohio for days, okay? I've also been getting progressively shittier feeling in the past days. If you guys are going through this and are seeing this, please let me know. Because I just find it really strange, okay, that I was completely fine and then all of a sudden this weather comes in and I feel like shit. Something's up, y'all. Like something is up. And what I feel is not normal. Like, I feel like my body is panicking. Like, it's going like alarm after alarm after alarm. It's not the flu. It's not a cold. I'm getting hot. I'm getting chills. I feel like I'm going to throw up every 10 minutes. America, tell me if you are going through this and if there is fog.
What's up with the fog? Everywhere I look, there's posts about fog. I just rode back with my husband from Pennsylvania to Georgia, and let me tell you about what we saw. We crossed 7 states. We went from Pennsylvania to Maryland to West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, then Georgia. And there was fog in almost every state. Like, yes, there was some weather going on. There was a little rain here and there, but 7 states, like, it's really odd. Everybody's talking about this fog that's making them sick, this fog after these things we've been seeing in the air that we can't talk about. They're spraying stuff from these things, and maybe it's causing some of this illness, and this fog is part of it. There's this thick fog everywhere we went. And when we got to Virginia, a place called Fancy Gap, I think they're known for having some issues with fog, but this was so bad we almost had to pull over the car. Like, we could not see where we were going.
New York. We had come home yesterday, and by the time I got home, I was already like this. Well, I didn't lose my voice yet, but my throat was killing me. My whole body was sore. I had a really high fever. And then when I woke up this morning, I had no voice, or I sound like this. I've had sore throats before, but never lost my voice. While we were up there was that dense, weird fog that everyone's been saying they've been seeing everywhere. I've seen fog before, obviously, but this was different. It almost smelled funny, and it was thick and dense. So, has anyone else been seeing it? And has anyone else been feeling sick? And what kind of symptoms do you have? Because I just feel like a lot of weird things have been happening lately, between the drones and the plane crashes and this weird fog and the unnamed sickness that like everyone's getting. I don't know. And I'm not usually like paranoid or whatever kind of person, but it just seems like there's way too much going on. 2024 just needs to be done, because we can't pack any more things into this year, right?
This next video comes from Garden Glow 117 on TikTok, and she's also going to talk about how she has become sick after breathing in the air, the fog. Now, you're going to hear her call the drones Dior bags. That is because people on TikTok have now used a special word for drones, because TikTok, they are actually deleting drone videos and any mentions of drones. That actually also happened to me. I had a drone video up on TikTok and it's no longer there. So TikTok, they are scrubbing all videos and mentions of drones.
4 bags in New Jersey sprayed the perfume in the store, and that thick fog rolled in. The air smells like chemicals. It smells and tastes like chemicals, and I taste blood in the back of my throat when I breathe the air outside. Super dizzy, lightheaded, nausea, coughing, everyone's throwing up. I went to the doctor because, you know, I can't afford to miss work. I can't afford to miss work through all of this. And they said no strep, no flu, no nothing, to go home and rest. So I rested on Saturday. And today I had some errands to run before the work week started. And the symptoms came back as soon as I started breathing the air outside. So I just want to throw that out there because I think there might be some correlation with the perfume the Dior bags were spraying and how everyone is sick now.
Now, I had a theory that the locations that people are noticing this very suspicious fog, this mist, are in locations where there was heavy drone activity, heavy drone presence. There was also a heavy drone presence in the United Kingdom, in places like Kentucky, New Jersey, Florida, and so forth. Again, places that are noticing this very mysterious fog. Because like I said in my last video, if you remember, people had reported that these drones were spraying something, that something was coming out of these drones.
Usually I'll be able to see the red light from here. Can't even see that red light. What the heck?
This individual on TikTok, Mystery of Kyle 2.0, has an interesting theory about the fog and these drones.
I'm gonna be real about these drones in the sky, right? It's been foggy for 3 days. Definitely raising some suspicions about why they don't want us to see the sky. It's 55 degrees in Iowa, almost January, doesn't make any literal sense. Now, we talk about people that are actually seeing drones in the Midwest. This is very far away from New Jersey, so that means the likelihood of these things being spread across the United States and observing all the territories is great. Now, think about this. What if they're prospecting? What if they're looking for land to take over once the event happens? Because mass evacuations, martial law, real estate becomes fair game, right? What if we got sold out? What if we got sold out to another country and these drones are just looking for their next place to live? It's gonna be a fight, tell you what.
So you may be wondering if holograms can be projected into fog or smoke. Well, with all the fog going around, it could be man-made, it could be natural, who knows, but holograms can be projected into smoke or fog with the use of a projector that displays the image onto the screen of fog that was created with an artificial fog machine or even natural fog. This method works indoors as well as outdoors. Scientists have even figured out how to manipulate nearly unseen specks in the air and use them to create 3D images that are more realistic and clearer than holograms. So if you don't think that there's something nefarious behind all of this new fog, then think again, because what we are going through could possibly be just test runs of what's to come. So don't always believe everything you see.
What do you believe is the big picture plan? How do you see it going? And is there even, I can't believe I'm going to say it, a timeline of what's coming next?
Well, again, the group that's defecting from these 6 black sites determine their own timeline. I mean, I've been working with them for 20 months. They told me a month or two ago that it would be between late December and the inauguration or early January. So it's imminent, because I mean, this is, New Year's Eve is right now. Yeah. So that is what they determined to do. Now, I have had people in the incoming administration that I won't name who, but people who are up for cabinet level positions say, why don't you get this delayed until after the inauguration? I said, no, they want to do it beforehand. So it's on the plate of the incoming president on his table right away. So that wasn't my call. That's the call of these groups that are affecting. I want to be clear about that. And I'm simply the liaison between that group and the current government and the incoming government. And I'm doing the same thing in London and other places, and Russia and other nation states that need to know. But I think that the real problem is what happens after that.